questions like that. Stop asking questions like that because...
So this guy tries to challenge the existence of God by the design argument. Was the universe designed, or did it just happen out of nowhere?
Hey, Frank, I'm Danny.
Say again?
Danny.
Danny, go ahead.
And just fair warning, I suppress the truth and unrighteousness. I'm an atheist, so bear with me. I have a question about, earlier you said that good and evil were somewhat codependent, that in order to have a concept of good, you also had to have a concept of evil. In order
to know what evil was, you had to know what good was. You could know good without evil, but you can't know evil without good.
All right. Okay.
Right.
So having established that, when I look at or ponder your design argument, if you think God is the creator of all things, that means everything is created, everything is designed. So what are you using to compare a designed thing versus an undesigned thing to recognize that something like DNA is actually designed?
Yeah, because in every other instance we see genetic code, we know it always comes from a mind. So for example, if you're walking along the beach and you see in the sand, John loves Mary, you don't say, well, the crabs did that, right? Or the waves lapped up against the sand and made John loves Mary in the sand. We know how that had to be an intelligent being, right?
That would be crazy, but yes, obviously, we would be like, a human did that. A human created that, and therefore, there had to be a mind behind it.
This is why when we train our our satellites out into the atmosphere, we're looking for certain patterns in the radio waves. This is called SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. If we get a certain pattern, we'll know there's intelligent life out there because natural laws themselves don't create the kind of what is known as specified complexity that a message is. So we know that messages always come from minds, and when we see in a living thing a message that's 3.5 billion letters long in every one of your 100 trillion cells, we go, intelligence.
But I think the weight of my question, I mean, do you think there's anything that hasn't been designed? Anything?
You mean anything in the space-time continuum?
Right?
I would say inherently, yes. I loved what he said. If you see within your genes, genetic code, DNA, 3.5 billion letters, we think of a mind. That's crazy. But is there a creator in everything? Everything created? Yeah, inherently.
Anything in the universe. The cosmos was created by God, so it follows that everything in the cosmos was created by God and designed. So there's nothing that you compare to say that something's designed versus is undesigned.
Well, no, because you know that nature by itself will take things to disorder. Like, for example, nature will take a building like this and turn it into a pile of bricks, but nature will never take a pile of bricks and turn it into a building. What did God create? What?
God create all natural forces, natural laws, natural...
Yes, I think God created the natural forces and sustains them, yes.
Okay, so those are created things, they're designed things, so that you can't use that as a model for an undesigned thing.
Well, I think the fact that natural laws are so precise and consistent and are fine-tuned, that is more evidence of a divine being. But the fact that those natural laws don't create specified complexity, it would require more intelligence to come in and create a specified complex thing like a cell.
Sorry, I may have not understood your answer. Is there anything that you think that exists today in the cosmos that's not created or anything that's undesigned?
Well, it depends on what you mean by that. There are things...
Anything in the cosmos. Anything. Atoms.
I'm trying to understand the direction of your question here, because if we go outside right now and we see dirt out there...
God created that.
Well, God created the planet, but the dirt may be in such a configuration that the natural laws working on it have made it just be in a random way. But if we went out there and the dirt was pressed into bricks and there was a wall built around the tree, we'd go, okay, that dirt has had intelligence put on it in order to create this wall. So we can still tell design, even though if everything is designed, we can still tell design from an illustration like this, because we could see dirt left to itself doesn't create a wall, but dirt put into brick form can create a wall if you put intelligence on it.
I think the way I'm interpreting your question is that we can tell when humans interact with the world, but in terms of God interacting with the world, there's no way to tell because everything serves as God's creation.
Yes, everything is God's creation, but we can see where, in fact, what you can do is you can take the natural laws, which atheists don't explain. In fact, who was it? Stop me, Paul Davies from Arizona State University, an agnostic. In 2006, wrote an editorial in the New York Times, said, taking science on faith. And basically we're saying, where do the laws of nature come from? And everybody who was an atheist or an agnostic wrote to him and say, we don't ask questions like that. Stop asking questions like that, because the natural laws that drive and govern the universe seem to have a designer behind them.
Wow.
And so we agree there's a designer behind them, except the atheists don't want to ask that question. Why do the natural laws exist? But the natural laws do the same thing over and over again. They don't create specified complexity, just like they don't create our illustration of a wall around a tree out here. So we can tell design, even if everything is ultimately at its foundation design.
I think at the end of the day, everyone wants to say, yeah, there was a designer, but then there will be like, but there wasn't a creator. Somehow things were designed. Somehow, for whatever reason, somehow things look like they're designed, but I don't know how. Couldn't be a creator. Oh my goodness. But even though everything we see in the entire universe that we know was created, but besides me, of course, I'm not created. That's crazy. Anyway, guys, I encourage you to put your faith and trust in Jesus. Know that he is good and worthy of praise. I encourage you to put him first over everything, because that will be the best decision of your entire life. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, please like this video and subscribe, and click the link in the description. It'll help you to decide to follow Jesus for the first time. I encourage you to do that today. And guys, I have a membership program, so if you want to support me on there, I would love and appreciate it. If not, that's okay. I still love you. And I hope you all have an amazing day.